Alright, let's talk about something that sounds like a Netflix thriller, but unfortunately isn't fiction. Hook. Imagine opening a dusty folder labeled "Do Not Open," and inside it, names, connections, powerful people, and more questions than answers. That's basically what people mean when they say the Epstein files. Now, before your brain jumps to conspiracy mode at 200 kilometers per hour, slow down. This story is weird enough without adding aliens or secret lizard meetings. So let's break it down. Simple, clear, and human. Jeffrey Epstein was a super rich guy with a private island, private planes, and friends in very high places. The kind of guy who could walk into rooms most people can't even Google. But here's the twist. His wealth and lifestyle didn't make sense to a lot of people. And neither did the number of powerful names around him. That's where the files come in. When Epstein was arrested, investigators started digging, and digging, and digging some more. What they found were documents, flight logs, contact lists, emails, and court records. Not movie-style secret vaults, just boring paperwork. That turned out to be extremely interesting. Because paperwork doesn't lie. People do. One of the biggest things people talk about is the flight logs. Basically, who flew on Epstein's private plane. Now, important point. Being on a plane does not automatically mean someone did something wrong. That's like saying, you once took a bus, therefore you're part of a bus gang. Relax. But when the same names keep appearing again and again, people start asking questions. And questions make powerful people very uncomfortable. Another part of the Epstein files comes from court documents. These include testimonies, witness statements, and sealed records that were later unsealed. And when those names came out, the internet did what it does best. Screenshots, threads, TikTok, investigations by people wearing hoodies at 3 a.m. Some names shocked people, some didn't, and some made everyone go, wait, that person? Here's where it gets tricky. Not every name mentioned is guilty. Some were witnesses, some were mentioned once, some were just connected socially. But the bigger question isn't just who is on the list. It's this. Backhand index pointing right, how did one man get so much access for so long without being stopped? That's the real mystery. Think of it like this. If one student keeps cheating in class for years, at some point, you stop asking, how did he cheat? And start asking, why did no one stop him? Exactly. Epstein's death added fuel to the fire. Suddenly, the main guy who could answer everything was gone. And when answers disappear, curiosity explodes. That's why the Epstein files still matter. Not because of gossip, but because they expose how power, money, and silence can protect the wrong people. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most scandals aren't about one villain. They're about systems that look away. People don't always get away with things because they're smart. Sometimes they get away with things because others don't want problems. And that's scarier than any secret list. So when you hear Epstein files, don't just think names. Think accountability. Think transparency. Think about how often the world only reacts after it's too late. Because the real lesson isn't hidden in a document. It's right in front of us. And maybe the biggest question of all is this. If this much came out, how much didn't? That's the file no one's opened yet.